mistakes earlier, it's that not bringing a duelist could be very, very difficult. And if you remember correctly, we had some people on PDHM that can really show up in terms of duelists. They can get a lot of kills, they can get a lot of frags. But now we have a double duelist combo here, Rika and Toasty on the side of VGA. So I'm curious how this is going to work out. But
a minute 25 left, and immediately, seconds within the round, we have Doppy taking down Toasty Toaster. Hopefully, Roasty will be there to look at that, not too far behind, looking to get that refrag again. His location's been revealed by the recon bolt, cyber cages are out, and the Omen smoke is in effect. He's going to put himself in a really bad position. He's going to be catching himself right in the middle of so many different attackers, and it's going to be Richa being the first one to be killed on PDHM's side, and that's going to be potentially what could have been a nice kill on the C4, but PDHM says, nope, not today. We lost one, but we're not losing anymore, and that's going to be the first round done within minutes.
like we said, Haven, there's 3 bomb sites. You have to spread yourself very thin with at least 4 main control points that you have to hold at all costs. And by letting the attackers have free reign and have 5 people walk on the site, unless you get some really nice picks early on, or maybe you're Sage and you have 3 walls somehow, you're not going to be able to hold people off long enough for all of your team to get there. It's going to be about the retake situation in most cases. Now, both cyber cams are going to be out here on A, but he gets spotted by the recon drone, and Kix is going to go ahead and find him and take off his head. Mixes finds yet another, taking out like that. A site is all theirs. Mindless finds Classic in his hands, but Sage uses her wall to hold him off, and now just like that, it's going to have to be a angle into heaven if you want anything to happen, or you're going to have to shoot down those walls. At a time like this, there's only one way to rotate back, and it's being blocked off by one of Cypher's links, and Brimstone watching it. So things are tough. Time dwindles away, and PDHM has to find as they can. Him dropping down, gets shot by Doppy though. Schooled, going to find one. Rika finds 2 as well with the Classic. Rika throwing a grenade though, is going to get shot out by Schooled, and find himself a 2K on the round. Round number 2 heading in favor of PDHM.
I mean, that round is looking this game is looking much more like PDHM already 2 rounds in. Last game, we didn't really see them show up so aggressively. They certainly tried a little bit, but not to this level. And again, I think the big reason why it's being so effective right now is to just keep running A over and over again until there's at least 3 people holding it all the time. Then you can abuse that the round after and go for C. But right now we see the Roasty Toasty combo chilling outside of A. It's looking like some angles are already being looked at for B side. They don't want to overuse the A push either, even though it might be one of the best solutions they have right now. They want to mix it up and keep the enemies on their toes. With a minute 28 left, we still see the spike maintaining its course, going to B side, and no one really contesting it this side, the Brimstone. But speaking of that Brimstone, Kix is going to take down Mindless almost immediately without really much of a fight. With that being said, though, they're going to completely ignore B, realizing the retake would be hell in a cell for both teams, and go straight for A. This is really going to throw VGA off for a loop. It's throwing me off as well, because now you have to play a really awkward retake game, almost as if your defenders are acting as the attackers taking back the site. Now, Roasty's been revealed by Kix. Rika's looking around to see what he can do on A long, but it's going to be too little too late for much longer on Roasty. He needs to push up, but he has someone on his left and his right in such an awkward position. He gets his right, he takes down Kix, and now he's got to wait for Rika to help him out. But School takes down Rika, and that's a really bad position for him to be in. Again, Mixes takes down Roasty as well, and you're left with Polonium. But they already know where he's at. He just goes out of the smoke like it's nobody's business and hopes for the best. The best, unfortunately, being instant death.
I mean, when it comes to saying that the best situation can be in is instant death, that just goes to show how dominant of a force this team is becoming. PDHM really showing their true colors, unlike the small fluke that they had on the previous map. Now, like we've said, PDHM super dominant, just playing like this. If you had tuned in, and the first time tuning in to AGN Valorant at all was on the last map, throw everything you know about PDHM out the window, because that is not PDHM. This is PDHM. This is their Valorant team. Their head is back in the game, and they are ready to go for it. These first 3 rounds show anything A site is being taken in full force. Spike makes its way onto A in the hands of the Sova, and every part of control, except for maybe Heaven, could be in favor of PDHM. He finds the first kill now, taking out the Sage, but the Spike goes down nonetheless. Start the countdown. It is time for the defenders to kick it into gear. Raze is going to make quick work on the behind. It's going to be Toasty looking for a kill on the left side, going to be blinded. Doffy's going to take a kill on the mindless. Toasty with the immediate refrag, and Richa with the next immediate refrag. Now taking out Rosie is going to be Mixes, and Richa is going in tandem to take him out. The pistol with Ghost coming out from Richa is going to find 2 kills for him, but Rika now is about to make it back. Sova's ultimate now coming out. It's a 1v1 Hunter's Fury. It's going to be the name of the game. But he did not get the kill. The defuse is happening. 2 seconds left. 1 second left. Make it count. And the defenders get the defuse with milliseconds left. Rika clutching it out for a team. Just shy away from Schooled finishing it off.
I can't imagine what the comms are like right now on PDH's side. That is so unfortunate. It seemed like if he had just moved over a millimeter, that would have been a 4-0. But instead, he just did not. He did not move it over whatsoever, and only that last shot hit, and even then it wasn't enough to secure the kill. How awful, but that's okay. That was a really nice and unique attempt. That would have been a great play, but we're not going to see it maybe in a different universe. Right now we do see 2 ults on the board. We see Kicks and I believe the Cypher on PDH's side, both with their Neural Theft and their Revive. That could be really huge, but Rachel's in a really awkward spot. They think someone might be there, and that's going to be an opening pick going back and forth. Somehow in all of that, Rachel does get a kill on Rika, and it's going to be just a huge onslaught either way. The Revive does come out, and Kicks does take down Mindless as well, so it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal. Of course, now you have your Roasty Toasty last left alive right now, and you do lose out on your Brimstone, but it's not too late. Toasty, however, is going to be in Garage. He's going to be hit by the Cyber Cage. It's going to hurt him a lot, but he does take the head off of Doffy. Now it's going to be B-side of C-side completely free of any opponents, and it looks like most of PDH is going to wait for the refrag potential. Now Kicks is going to be moving up through C, and it's going to be Mixes unfortunately going down as well. Kicks does find Roasty, and the Sova, I'm really not sure what their plan is other than watching for the flank, and they surmised it correctly, because now we do have a few shots going off against Toasty. It's going to be Toasty being taken down by Schooled, and it's going to be PDH once again taking another round. We have a 3-round differential so far. The scoreline looks a lot more different than how close it really feels.
Very true. I mean, honestly, there's a 3-round split here, and that's always something you're able to come back from. But with how purely dominant PDHM has been this entire matchup, I don't expect a solid comeback. That one round was a round that came down to the wire, and that is probably the best way I can explain how you're going to win. Joke's over! It's going to be something that comes down to the wire, comes down to the final seconds. You're not going to be able to gain a lot of traction on them, and especially on a map like this where they've had a lot more experience or a lot more ready to go, it's going to be a tough battle. Now you see Phoenix on the right back. It's going to be Toasty getting rid of any utility he can and rearranging where his position is. In the corner here is Polonium. Sage is inside the smoke though, slightly spotted out, just millimeters away.
Come on, man.
Disaster. That's going to be Polonium finding the kill. Now going to go for the swing on C Long, but Rika is going to be the one to find him. It's going to be an immediate refrag. Doffy finds one along with Rika on the other side. Now finding Mixes. School takes out Rika. Toasty taking out Doffy now. Shots coming out and trades even on all sides. Now bring it back to a 2v2. Health is in favor of VGA though. Never mind. It's going to be in favor of... Actually, it is going to be in favor of VGA. My apologies. It's going to be in favor of PDHM, but not anymore. It's going to be Mindless to take out the last member of PDHM. And it's going to be a defuse coming down. Just around that just came with a flurry of trades in a matter of milliseconds. Just closing out in an absolutely extraordinary way.
Yeah, I mean, they did a fantastic job to clutch out that round. It looked like it really could have gone either way, but ultimately the cookie crumbled in VGA's favor, and now they have a hill to climb. It's not as bad as some previous games, but it's only a 2-round differential. But we had seen a really vigorous beginning for PDHM, but right now it's slowing down a little bit, and slow is Slow's going to be an interesting game this time around. It looking like it might be a super aggressive attack or a very slow attack, but looking like it's going to be a super huge aggressive attack going down A long, whereas Doffy's trying to find that opening pick. Not going to find the pre-fire, however. The tripwire's going to trip him out, and cyber cages are online. Doffy, however, reacts quicker than Roasty. That's going to be Roasty going down, but where's Toasty at? He's on top of heaven, blinded out completely, and that's kind of the story for all the defenders. Completely blinded out and not able to get those shots except for Toasty, getting a really hard to get shot on the school going from heaven. Now it's going to be a matter of the retake of the site going against that spike. It's going to be Doffy who finds Toasty, and Doffy with a triple kill. But Doffy, unfortunately, his ride ends there. Mindless takes him down and takes down Mindless in the refrag. It's down to Polonium to be the last one alive. The stim beacon's out. Polo, yeah. Yo, one's Polo playing, but it looks like he's not playing today. Kix is going to be taking down Polonium again. It was a 1v3 with the stim beacon being down right next to the spike. They knew exactly where you were at. Unfortunately, it's just not a situation you can be in to bring it back. So sad, so sorry. Round number 8.
I mean, I have to say that there's a consistency here. And the thing that we're seeing most consistent is PDHM. When they find the first opening kill, they more than often win. When VGA finds the first opening kill, PDHM also likes to win. Except for a couple rounds. So, now the reason why I say that is that whoever finds the first kill more than often winds up getting the round. Now, Kix finding the first kill here as well alongside Doffy, because
I know exactly
kills now. They're able to capitalize on their abilities, such as Doffy here, being able to now see where everyone is and see that B site is completely free and clear for the taking. 2 rotating through A. Mix is going to read that perfectly and take out Roasty, but is not going to find the other. Sage going to wall off the link over to A site, and the spike goes down in B. The toughest site to hold is now going to be the site that they have a 5-to-1 advantage on. The Molly coming over, but it's not going to be a worry in the slightest, as there are still 5 members Toasty will have to find. Instead, he's going to take the judge, the dragon judge nonetheless, pick it up, and walk back towards A. Going to want to sit. There's no chance for him to retake this here. He's not going to want to deal with that. Could come into some contact with Sage soon, though. That's what he's going to do. He's going to go and find the first kill. He picks up the Phantom now, a much more useful weapon, especially in close quarters combat like this. Shotgun's good, but when you're dealing with multiple people, you're going to be worried about that. Looking for the heaven, but does not hear mixing left. Just like that, now the spike goes off, and that's going to be round number 6 for PDHM's book.
PDHM again just seems to be around at every single corner to find every defender in those 2v1 situations, and that's where they excel the most. Split didn't really give them an opportunity to use those 2v1s to their advantage, get those refrags as effectively as they have in maps 1 and currently map 3 as well. But we're about halfway into, we're actually very close to the halfway mark of this 3rd map. And if VGA can't step up their game, they're going to have to go home with just $100 to split between 5 people. But if they can bring it back, they have to face a whole other new best of 3 against PDHM. And I'm not sure if we're going to see that happen one way or another. But with that being said, the run it back unfortunately going to be going down immediately. And again, the real run it back person, Toasty, goes down as well. A huge onslaught going on. Reach and makes his takedown peacefully in Polonium. And it's going to be a minute left, and you're already down to 2 people. Yikes.
Hellfire comes out, but it's not going to do a whole lot. It's about the retake now. Seeing the ball going off, and there's a Molly coming out from the hands of Phoenix, or rather Brimstone's Molly. So the literal Molly, as Brimstone would say when shooting it, is going to be the things that blocks them off in a 2v4 situation. Not impossible to take back. Impossible? No. Unlikely? Yes. So it's going to be Mindless and the Rays falling back now, not wanting to deal with this a whole lot. Mindless and Rika are going to want to go ahead and take their time, take it slow, hold back, and just save what they can. Of course, losing the past couple rounds has not been the highlight of their life. Now, before we switch on to the next round, though, I do have to applaud Doffy right now. 3 in a row. What does he have 3 in a row of? Oh yeah, first picks. He is making noise. And the Cypher, nonetheless, he's able to put his links down exactly where they need him to, and then he's able to get aggressive, which is exactly what we see him doing. So, putting a lot of work in, applause to him, but anything can change. He's 12-6 right now, absolutely massive for his team. But we need to see how this is going to change up.
Double the overall kills as well compared to everybody else in the game, essentially, except for maybe one or two. It looks like it's going to be maybe a fake A push again, trying to bait everyone over to defend on A site and then meet back over for C. But it looks like I'm not really sure what the Sage is trying to do. What is Kicks doing with that spike? They are the lone traveler going by themselves. Rika does take down Toasty Toaster, however, and that's going to be the one half of the Roasty Toasty completely dead. It's a minute 20 left, and you lose out on your Phoenix already, and that's one of your two duelists that you need to rely on. Keep in mind, PDHM doesn't have any duelists at all. They're all support or controllers. Richa does take down Rika as again, and the stream is frozen. There we go. We are back. Polonium, though, rotating around from Big Garage, looking for any potential flanks that they can take advantage of. The plant goes down on C, and now the post plant is in full effect. Interestingly, again, PDHM refuses to play the post plant on C on the site. Again, they are just walking off completely and just hoping for the best, or looking to play for long and off shot whoever tries to defuse. That's the safest option they have right now, and the defenders are taking way too long to get to it. The Sage Wall was in full effect over Roasty, but no, they continue onto it. They broke through that wall. Hunter's Fury down as well, directly on that spike. This time pinged out, so he won't miss, but unfortunately it doesn't connect. Mixes with a double kill, taking down Mindless and Roasty, and Polonium securing it over Mixes. Now it's a back and forth trying to find those closing frags, but Polonium does get the kill on the Kicks. He also gets that last kill onto himself. And it's going to be School, the only one surviving the whole ordeal. Again, I'm missing the Hunter's Fury on the bomb site, but again, when you're 8-2, it's not that big of a deal at this point.
As long as you're winning your rounds, that's what matters. Of course, the Hunter's Fury, had it came down to just that again, we could have definitely saw a repeat of what we saw back on, I believe it was going to be round number 5, when, or round number 4 rather, when they were unable to actually secure the kill with the Hunter's Fury. They're mere milliseconds, but that doesn't matter. Right now, what we see though is happening right now. Two people pushing down C long. If you want to look at the map on the top left, coming into for the flank. Cypher's link is not sitting directly behind them though, so if they don't make a lot of movement, a lot of advancement right now, it could be two people very easily coming up behind them, but rather it goes for an opening push. Phoenix made long is going to get his head taken off by the hands of Zombie. Another opening frag for the man himself, taking out one as the push site happens. Rosie in heaven with Aries is going to try to do some work. Mindless finds a kill onto Reacha though. That is going to bring it back to a 4v4 situation. 2 on the flank and 2 on site, but it looks like it's going to be a rotate. They're going to come into the people who are on their flank right now. Daffy takes out one, killing Rika in the process, and it's going to be left to just Polonium to go for that, to try to go for that flank, but it's going to go for yet another bait. However, Polonium on the behind him, they are not aware. PDHM does not know that Polonium is directly behind them. So off your feet! They're going to be able to be read perfectly clearly. So the R2 are going to be able to go back. Mindless still in the corner there, gets flicked on by Mixes, and School's going to take out Rosie in heaven. Subsequently, School also turns around and finishes off Polonium, giving the attackers their 9th round win now, and PDHM is on a absolute burner.
Yeah, I mean, PDHM has been unstoppable for the last five rounds, I believe. 5 rounds. And keep in mind, that was only an interruption by one VGA win, which before then, it was kind of a back and forth, but again, that was only 2 VGA rounds so far. So, but mostly, it's been a huge stop with just one little area between rounds 4 and 6 where VGA won in between, sandwiching a round of PDHM. But since then, it has been a runaway success so far, and we are potentially 4 rounds away from securing the grand finals, the grand champions of the AGN Valorant tournament. Now, Kicks and Daffy do take down Mindless and Polonium, and Toasty again finds Kicks, but it's a back and forth on A site, which we are all too familiar with. Last one alive right now is going to be Rika Bunkers, and you're against a 1v3 situation. It is doable, but you have 3 supporting players all watching sites across all of the small A site. Oh, there's something to call my bro. My bad. He's gonna find one on school. So he's not gonna give up. He's looking for the showstoppers, but unfortunately the wrong angle. Gets 2 and gets almost 3. That's nearly a trade. Barely coming back with their life. Barely coming back from that 3K. That's gonna be Rika taking double digits into what could possibly be soon to be 2 points away from series point for AGN's Valorant tournament.
They are just 3 points away from winning the Season 1 playoffs for AGN Valorant, which is, you know, pretty huge at this point in time. Valorant still being a new esport means that there are far and few leagues. Most of the things are just tournaments, but this is a full-fledged league really coming out and showing a lot of teams' strengths and weaknesses. As we look into Breach's eyes there for a second, I don't know exactly what they're looking at, but it looks like
He's the captain now.
He is the captain now. Okay, could not agree more. But this is going to be an aggression from the defense right down C long. Something we saw work not too well for VGA just a couple rounds previously when they tried to go on the flank, but rather this is a full-fledged push. The defenders become the attackers yet again, but there's no one on A to counter. Mixes finds the first kill on the flank, so that flank will be read perfectly. The A site is fully in control of VGA now. It's about the Cypher combat inside of heaven and by that staircase, but they're not yet seeing each other. Oh, rather, my bad, one of them is in hell, not heaven. So they're basically right on top of each other, but completely unaware of each other's positioning.
You're absolutely right, and it's still, most bodies are on the board. The Brimstone is super lit, and we are coming down closer and closer to this time limit. And there we go, the jump down, John Luke's boot style. Gonna be having so many of the defenders mowing down VGA. My God. And that defuse is gonna go down as well. Mix is securing the defuse. That's gonna be 1 point away from grand finals point in the AGN playoffs. My God. I mean, what can you say? You're holding a position for so long, and where are the callouts? No one tells you that heaven's been taken over. You need to rely on your teammates more. You're just not able to right now, it seems.
Yeah, it's definitely not seeming to be that way just quite yet. But nonetheless, this is a wonderful series. Whoever takes this, as it does look like it's going to be PDHM, both these teams have showed absolutely beautiful skills, beautiful levels, and just show that Valorant is an ever-growing esport that you cannot count out on action. Now, to refrain from that, though, the slow orb coming out from Kicks, aiming down into the smoke. 5 people here. He could get a very quick amount of kills. Walling off right there. Jump above. The area's in hand. Going trying to find some kills. He does not find any, though. Instead, doing a lot of damage.
Oh my
God. Team kill coming out from everyone here. Mindless gets the kill, but there's shots coming out all over the board. Just like that, it's Omen versus the Cypher. The spike is in sight, but so are both of the agents. Coming around the corner here. Oh, the Omen teleporting is getting caught off guard, and Duffy is going to be the one to take him out with the Spectre. Ladies and gentlemen, this is match point, series point, season 1 point, if you want to call it that. If PDHM win this round, it is game, set, and match.
That's right, and VGA have a gigantic boulder to bring back up a hill, needing 11 rounds in a row right now to bring this to the second best of 3. PDHM right now is looking fantastic, and it seems like they're dead set on getting these $300. Of course, now we are potentially the final match between the two, and it's already starting off fantastically with Mixes getting a blind headshot on the Toasty Toaster. Half of the Toasty Toaster fan club, Roasty Toasty fan combo is going to be down, and Rika takes down Rika Bonkers as well. Polonium takes another name off as well. Starting off this round, you're barely 30 seconds in, and you've already lost now you've officially lost pretty much half of your team. Now, Polonium and company are not too much different. It's going to be a 3v3 between the two teams, and you're trying to figure out what you need to do. The spike plane goes down on B side, Stim Beacon goes down for the defense, and Doffy has main window. Again, role reversal a little bit right now. It seems now that defenders need to retake the site as the attackers pretty much. Kicks takes down Roasty, so now the Roasty Toasty fan club is officially dead. Hellfire goes down, Skull takes down Mindless. Mindless, however, refrags on the Doffy, and that's gonna be Kicks taking down Polonium. That's gonna be a defuse going down, and ladies and gentlemen, we have our Season 1 winners of the AGN Valorant playoffs, PDHM. We call them winners around these parts. They are going to walk home with $300, and unfortunately, we're going to have to give only $100 to VGA Gaming as we say goodbye to them as our second place victors. Good job, PDHM Gaming, for bringing it all the way home, and to be honest, only losing one map in the entire series.
An absolutely amazing amount of play coming out from both sides here in this series. The entirety of the playoffs have been absolutely fabulous. And VGA put in their blood, sweat, and tears, but PDHM just came out on top. Like you said, Keg, this is the first team to take a map off of PDHM. This is exactly why they deserve the #2 spot. The only team that could come out in a situation like this, beating everyone else in the losers bracket. Now, obviously, they got beat earlier on, so they got bumped down to losers bracket. But since then, they pile drive, they ran over everyone through it, and now they fought their greatest opponent yet, PDHM, falling second place to them. An absolutely amazing team, putting in so much work and showing true dominance inside of the Valorant esports community.
Fantastic work all around. No bad players at all from the last few matches we had streamed on AGN Valorant. It has been really good. It has been really close games. We have seen absolute stomps. We have seen everything between all sorts of different games. We've also seen every single map, which you don't see in most other leagues. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the AGN Valorant content you've seen this season, make sure to drop them a follow on Twitch and follow them on Twitter. Join their Discord, which I think is in their description below.